Hello my guys, hope you have a fantastic trading day today. Like, if your trade was profitable. This is the weekly forex forecast. So I decided to do it during the week so that after the Monday candle close, we can get the real direction of the market. Monday is for retracement somehow and some continuation of the previous move. So today let's dive deep into the fundamental and let's see what we anticipate based on the fundamental, and then how we will now incorporate that to the technical so that we can have a profitable trade. So let's go to the fundamental. So the fundamental that was dropped on Monday, that is the Swiss franc, that is the Swiss franc CPI, which came out better than expected. So if you check most of the Swiss franc currency pairs, you will see that it moves massively to the downside. As you can see, the impact of the CPI, which came out better than expected. So let's check CHF CPI. As you can see, CHF JPY, it moves up. As you can see, the daily candle, it moves up, so which tells you that the CPI really have impacts on that currency pair. So this is Monday candle, as you can see. So let's okay, I don't have much Swiss franc PSA, so that's to tell you that there's an impact in the fundamental. So on Monday too, we have the Canadian dollar IVPMI, which comes out that is lower than expectation. That is what was than expectation. So on Tuesday, which is today, we have the cash rate statement, the interest rate statement out of the Australian, and then we have the Fed testify, and this testify news is going to be is a high impact news, but it's going to move the market because it depends on what they say at that particular at this particular time. We make us to know maybe US dollar will be more weaker or will be more stronger, because they will talk about inflation, they will talk about the interest rates, and maybe they are going to hike the interest rates, or maybe they are going to lower the interest rate more. So let's concentrate on this. Let's note this. It's going to come out later in the day, and this interest rate statement will come out very, very soon, maybe in some hours. So it will let us to know the direction of the Australian dollar. Yeah, and then we have the RBA governor, so it's going to speak later in the day after the rate statement. That is on Tuesday. So we have the Fed testify and the interest rate out of the Australia. The interest rate is forecast to be 25 basis points rate hike, because it's from 3.35 and then they forecast 3.60. That's 25 basis points. So let's see how it goes. If we see higher than expected result, then we should see the AUD Swiss franc bounce from this support level. As you can see, we have a support level at this particular area, that is at the weekly support level is here. So if we see the higher than expected the interest rate result, maybe they go for 50 basis points, we might see it testing it, then rejecting at that particular level right there. But if we see the lower than expected result, then we should be looking for a breakout then to this particular area of 0.5758728. So that's my take on it. So we have Euro AUD too. Euro AUD, as you can see, telling us that this thing is weaker, so let's just remove this drawing. So here too we are approaching what we call the resistance level at this particular area. So if we see the higher than expected result, then we should see a bounce, a rejection from this level to the downside. So but if we see maybe they drop the same 25 basis point, that is it will eventually make AUD weaker, then we should see maybe a breakout of this particular resistance level to retest the next resistance level, which is at 1.61613. But this one is not in my analysis though, so I'm just giving an example how the news reacts with the technical analysis. So that's that about that. So let's check the remaining ones. So on Wednesday we have the ECB president is going to speak right there, so on the inflation and then their economic policy. Then we have the ADP non-farm employment change. This one too is going to move market out of the US dollar. Please, you have to take note of the ADP non-farm employment change. And then tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we have BOC rate statement, we have the overnight rate, and then another testifies coming out from the Powell. So here, take note of the rate statement of the Canadian dollar. So they are proposing what we call 4.50%. So I think they want to stay at the previous rate hike, so they don't want to go high or go more low. So let's see how it goes right there. See this particular result coming out here, it's not surprising to the market. We might not see a very big move from the Canadian dollar, but if we see something higher than this or something lower than 4.50, we should see a big move, that is a big volatility coming into the Canadian dollar. So the one we have on Thursday is unemployment claim. It will move the market, so you have to be aware of this. But there's something here that I wanted to look at. If the ADP non-farm employment change, if it comes out positive, please note that the unemployment claim will do what will reduce. So just note that. So let's see how it goes right there. So on Friday we have the monetary policy out of the Bank of Japan. So that one is very, very crucial this week, because there are so many speculative things about this Bank of Japan, and then I think they have the new governor now. So they will need to maybe do a new economic policy that will eventually change the mood of the market, that is in terms of the JPY. So let's see how it goes right there. And then on Friday too, we have the GDP, but the one we have, the biggest one of the month we have on Friday, is the non-farm payroll, that is NFP. So NFP is very, very crucial one we have, and then we expect it to bring more volatility to the market on Friday. We expect move out of the NFP on Friday. So the non-farm employment change is 224. But one thing I wanted to know, if this non-farm ADP non-farm employment change, if it comes positive, there is a higher probability that this one might eventually come positive. There's a higher probability that it might come positive. So you have to take note of the ADP non-farm employment change, and then so that you know maybe the non-farm employment change will be positive or negative. Even if there is going to be a deviation, it won't be much, you understand. So, and the unemployment rate too, so just need to watch the unemployment claim. That's when you need to know the unemployment rate. So let's see how it goes right there. So this one and this one should give you hints about what's going to happen at the NFP. So let's go to the technical. So let's check the DSY. Checking out the DSY, you know, I keep on saying since maybe last week or last 2 weeks that checking the DSY, it's bringing some things that okay, like here now we have a breakout at this particular area. Here now, as you can see, this is a resistant, and there's a rejection at that particular area also. As you can see, we have a rejection here, which multiple daily candle have closed below it. So there is a higher probability that we will still see this coming down to this particular level, to 102.6, maybe 102.578, before we can see maybe a bounce to the other side or to the upside, or before we can see a break of that particular level right there. So I'm still anticipating, but let's move to the 4-hour candle on this DXY. So on the DXY, there is another speculating stuff that I want you to look at right there. So eventually we might see a bounce that might even look like a retracement at this particular area. So don't take this away, don't take this off it, because as you can see, we have a support level particular area which might eventually bounce back to the upside before we eventually break that level. So, and this might affect the remaining US dollar pairs. So at the end of the day, we'll have to take note of what happened at the NFP and what the Fed testify. So if what we read about the Fed, if it says okay, maybe they want to increase the interest rate or they want to curb inflation, you know, all those stuff they used to do, so then we'll know the direction of the US dollar, and then DSY may eventually bounce off or break this particular level. But just watch this level closely. If you see the break of this level to the downside, maybe to, let's say, 104.000, then we should be heading down to 102.578. So let's check out for gold. So the first pair I want to check is gold. Okay, here I've already indicated this place. This place is a supply level. As you can see, that area is a supply area, which means that if price eventually touches it, we might see a rejection. If price touches it, we might see a big rejection to the downside. But that's not the bone of contention now. Let's zoom to where price is right now. So eventually today we'll discuss about this in the group. So if you are in my group, so we discussed this where I dropped this signal that okay, if it's closed below this area, you should sell. Then eventually it's closed below that particular area, and then there is a reason for selling at that particular area. If you go to the weekly candle, to the weekly time frame, we are still looking at the retracement at this particular area. The retracement is still playing out. So this is what I eventually drop. Let me delete this. So this is what I eventually drop using the Fibonacci retracement, that okay, we might eventually see a bounce at the first take profit at 1844, 1844.03. Then the second take profit at 1830. So this first take profit is at 0.23.6 Fibonacci retracement, and the second one is at 50.0 Fibonacci retracement level. So we might see a bounce back at this particular area to the upside, or we might see a bounce at this particular area to the upside. So it's one of the two that I'm not right there to see a bounce from. So but it has almost want to hit the first take profit. So that's what we are looking at right now on gold. So if we see any rejection candle at this particular area, because if you check this particular area too, you see that there is a demand level at this particular area. So there is high probability that we might just come here, the price might just come here and tap to the demand before it continue to the upside. So you might just tap the demand level before it continues to the upside. So that's what we are looking at right here on good. So eventually the first take profit is there to be on safer side, and the second one is at the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. So looking to buy here because I've already I'm in a sell position on gold, so I'm looking to buy back at this particular area, as you can see, or at this particular area. If there is no rejection at this particular area, then wait for this particular area to go for long, because as you can see, because we have a resistance level, a support level, and this support level is solid enough. So as you can see, that particular support level is solid. So we can have a rejection at this particular. This one too is a very strong support level, which we need to look at. So eventually the price might get there and bounce back, or eventually it might get to 1830 and then bounce back. So that's that on gold. So the next one we want to talk about is a GBP USD. So GBP USD, if you check the 4-hour time frame, you can see that this place is a very strong resistance level. As you can see, price has come here and test it multiple times, and we just keep having a rejection. Even when we have this big a very high bullish momentum candle, we still have a rejection candle. So which tells you that if we have a breakout of this particular level right there, then we should be coming to this particular place as our take profit. That we should be coming to 1.19543. that is almost like 70 pips down. So that's almost 70 pips down. So let's check the let's put it in the daily time frame so that you see the clear picture. As you can see, the clear picture still state that we can still come to this particular area. Okay, using this back to 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we have multiple rejection at the, let's use two trend line at this particular area. So we have multiple rejection at this trend line, number 1, number 2, and let's say number 3, and then this is the outer trend line, that is the outward trend line. These are the inward trend line. So at the end of the day, we might have a breakout of this particular area. So we might have a breakout, maybe a small retest, then a move to 1.1951. Actually, this is my analysis on GBP USD. So I'm waiting for it to maybe do a breakout, and eventually, if you are an aggressive trader, you can enter at this particular area. If you enter this particular area, you will have a limited stop loss. There is not even much. Your stop loss will be above, then I think is 1:1 okay, we can make it 1:2. Yeah, so yeah, support level. So this is 1:2 risk to reward level. So we are anticipating a sell on GBP USD. So if we're anticipating a sell on GBP USD, it means that the DSY, you might see a retracement on the DSY to the upside. That is when we can eventually see GBP USD move from 1.2033 to 1.193, something that's almost like 90 pips to the downside. So if we are targeting this area, that is almost like 90 to no, that is 110 pips. Yeah, 110 pips, and the risk is from 1.20223 to 1.20. That's 40 pips. So the risk is 40 pips and the reward is 110 pips. So let's move to Euro USD. So on Euro USD, I dropped this analysis today that okay, we are going to see bounce at this particular area, and I've been saying it since last week that this bullish momentum on Euro USD, on GBP USD is not done yet, especially on Euro USD. So then we saw this breakout last week. It breaks in back. So what we are looking at is that we might see a retracement to this side, then a move to the upside. So I'm still waiting for it to retrace at this side because as you can see, we have a very solid resistance level at this area, which might cause it to do some retracement at that particular area. As you can see, this is a resistance area, resistance. So you might have to actually see a move to this particular area, then you can wait for bounce at this particular area. But my own projection on this is to the upside, but I can take advantage of this if I see a rejection at this particular area, because this is a solid resistance level too. So I can use the opportunity to sell. Then if I see a rejection at this area, then you buy the breakout, you buy here. As you can see, the trend line here can serve as your buying point. As you can see, the first one, let me use 3 pixel. So the first one, second one, then you might actually see the third touch at this particular area, then you do what you buy. So let's see how it goes right there. So the next one for me is AUD US dollar. AUD US dollar too, as you can see, we are in a very dangerous position at this particular area. This is a big picture. Let's use the daily time frame to check the big picture of the AUD USD. But actually we might eventually see a breakout because the daily candle closes bearish. So I was thinking maybe there will be a bullish close at this particular area to the upside before, so that we can take the advantage and then maybe buy to this particular area. But eventually it closes bearish. So there is a high probability that we might see a break of this particular support right there. You might see a break of this particular support. There is a high probability, but if it closes bullish, then we should be expecting the move to this area, and then should be expecting a breakout of that particular area right there. So let's see what will happen on, and you know, the interest rate is going to be dropped. So after the interest rate, we will know our next direction. Maybe there will be a breakout or there will be a rejection, and at the end of the day we might see a very big rejection to the upside or a very big momentum breakout to the downside. But as you can see, this plays a very strong support level because we have so many rejection here. As you can see, we have so many rejection candle here which reject at this particular area, 1 2 3 4, and at the end of the day too, this one is 1 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this place is a very strong support level. So if you want to break, we might eventually see a large momentum of break at that particular area, or a big momentum of rejection at that particular area. So let's see how it goes on AUD USD. So we are waiting for the monetary policy news to know the next direction. So the next one we want to check out for you guys is SND USD. So if you see the SND USD, as you can see, it has not break the support level yet. We are still at this particular support level. So yeah, previously we saw a fake breakout. Yeah, we saw a fake breakout here. It breaks in back, then it comes there. So eventually you may eventually see a rejection here, and then the take profit might be here. So let's see how it goes here. So what really happened is, let's check the 4-hour time frame to know the redirection of the trend, and then to know where the trade will be invalidated. So checking the okay, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, this looks like head and shoulder. This looks like, for me, head and shoulder at the support level. And then if we have this kind of thing at the support level, is a very strong bias to the upside. So if you want to use the head and shoulder, okay, let's use the Asian S indicator. The left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So we might eventually see move to this particular level, because there is a head and shoulder formation at that particular level. So where I'm not interested in buying this anymore is when okay, this is supposed to be a good risk to reward ratio, and then let's do it like this. There is a chart pattern at this particular area too. If you watch it very well, as you can see, this chart pattern is beautiful. Like, it's very, very beautiful. See, so it gives us a very good risk to reward ratio. So if you eventually long at this particular area, as you can see, if you long at this particular area, then your take profit will be here. So then your stop loss will be below that particular area. So this is 1.23 risk to reward ratio. This is where your stop loss is. You can just move it a little bit down so that you can be on the safer side. As you can see, this is the risk and this is the reward. This is beautiful. So you will know that, okay, you predetermine your risk and then reward at this particular area. So let's see how it goes on SND USD right there. So the next one is USD CAD. I don't think I will be interested in USD Canadian dollar. So let's go to US dollar JPY. US dollar JPY. There are two things I'm looking at here. So we might eventually see a bounce at this area, because let's not force this trend line. Let us put it here. So we might see a bounce at this area. The way I put this horizontal line is a very strong resistance level. If we check the higher time frame, let's check the daily time frame. That particular area is a very strong resistance level. So and another thing is that we have a big rejection, that is a bullish momentum candle, that is a bullish rejection candle at the daily time frame, which tells us that we may eventually see the resumption of the up or upward movement. So and the whole scenario, this thing is up already. So here we eventually see a bounce at this support level, as you can see, we have a bounce at the support level. So there is nothing stopping us from going long at this particular area. But if you want to go long at this particular area, pending this week, we should make sure that our take profits should be here or here, because anything can happen after. They might eventually see a bounce, because that particular area is a very strong resistant level, that you should not look away at all. It's a very strong one that you have to so you might eventually see a buy at this particular area. Then we have a lot of weak rejection candles, so you might even not know where to put your stop loss, because eventually you might have a move to this side and boom, it will form a weak rejection candle. But you have to just be very, very careful and put your stop loss below this 4 hour hammer candle. So that is this one is 1:23 risk to reward ratio. But eventually, if your trade hits stop loss, you can still re-enter. And what will give you confirmation of re-entering is when you see something like this, when you see it moving to this level, then it rejects. So eventually it still give you an edge to still come back to the trade and enter at this particular area, put your stop loss below it, and then you know what, you set your take profit. So AUD JPY should be according to the interest rate report. We might see anything can happen here. I'm not interested in AUD JPY for now. It's not clear enough. So the next one I'll be interested is Canadian dollar JPY. Canadian dollar JPY, it is like the US dollar JPY. There is a very strong key resistance level at this particular area, actually a supply level. So eventually what I'm looking at right here is for you to, if I want to tell my bias is for you to break out and come to the downside. But at the end of the day, you follow the market. So eventually we might see what we call a bounce at this level. As you can see, we still have if you still put this trend line, it still work at this particular area. As you can see, respect the trend line. So eventually, if you see a bounce at this area, then it should tell you that don't go too far to take your profit. That is you might eventually 99 to 1. That's almost like 70 pips. So if you eventually see a bounce at that particular area, don't go too far, take your profit at this particular area and see how market will react to this particular area. But if you see a breakout to this particular to the downside, that is, it means that the trade has already been invalidated. So that's all about that. Let's check the last one, which is I think, okay, let's check the Euro JPY as the last one. Euro card, I'm not interested. So this, I eventually dropped this today, and one of the reasons I dropped it is because we are having a bounce, like steady bounce from the trend line. That is 1, 2, 3, and the third touches, and we still have a rejection at this 4 hour candle. So that's what make me drop it in the Telegram channel. So this is the Telegram channel, and then as you can see, boom, as you see my various position in that particular trade. Enter with 5 lot, 2 lot. I first enter with 0.20 to test it, maybe it might eventually reject. Then after it rejects, there I know that it's going to buy eventually, so I just drop it. Then I think I drop update for them to close after we realize the profit. So at the end of the day, this is a safer place to take the profit. Anything can happen here. This is a resistance level, but we might eventually see a breakout of that particular area to the upside. So this is my analysis for the week. please use your protective stop loss. Don't joke with your stop loss. Don't ever enter a trade without predetermining your loss, and your entry and your exit is very, very important. So if you are new to this channel, please click on like, support me by subscribe, and then you can support me as well by doing or by sharing the videos to your loved one. So yeah, I'll be giving you trading tips, and then the weekly forex forecast every week, the direction of the market, the fundamental analysis, and co. So we might do another midweek forecast maybe after the interest rate and after poet testify. So have a lovely and a profitable week ahead.